Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to Hallyujuku, a K-pop podcast, and more. We're here gathered to talk about East Asian pop culture in a multitude of facets and ways. We got some things to talk about, some discussions to have. I'm Petey Ray, your man with no plan. Here with me always is my tag team partner, Brandon Cooper, aka King Kaz. How you doing, Kaz?
I'm doing good. Yeah. Slow ass week.
Yeah. It's been a slow week. It's been a tough week. But we're here. We're gathered. We've got a belly full of chicken quesadillas, and we've got a dock full of links. Well, not full, but occupied by links. Yeah. Of course, we start off every episode talk about what's new, talk about the things that are going on, things that we've caught our attention this week. This one I kind of was jumping it around between either being a headline, the fact that it was released, or a release, or but I guess it kind of works here. It works.
Rebellion Podcast Network.
It works in this facet for being something that happened recently. So remember the word that happened over Mama. The kerfuffle that happened over Mama. Between the fact that there was going to be a collaboration between Taeyeon and Wiz Khalifa stage. And there was kind of a lot of going back and forth between the camps about what happened, things like that. And there was but what we do know is that there was a
Rebellion Podcast.
There was a recording made for the stage, kind of backing track. They do the master recordings, for the backing tracks, and because to help out with the singing and things like that. But Bonix, Wiz Khalifa's DJ, I believe that's his name, Bonix, finally released. Well, not released, but he kind of he's like, I'm gonna drop this on the radio. The actual recording of Wiz Khalifa and See You Again. And it's definitely interesting. It's cool to listen to this version of the recording. It's a song that I'm not familiar with, but it's a song that is everywhere on the radio. I shouldn't say I'm not.
Yeah, no. See You Again is a song that everybody's heard a bunch of times, so it definitely is. It's definitely interesting. It has a different take on it, of course. But I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. It's done well, but I would have rather it been something I hadn't already heard.
Yeah. It would have been cool to get a new collaboration. That being said, this was just because they were going to do a stage, so they weren't going to write a new song for that collaboration stage. It would have been cool to hear something newly written, but it was just it was a thing, and here's the product. I think it came out really well. Ultimately it was fun to kind of finally get to listen to it. All clean and all normal. No, computer, I don't know where we start now. Pick a time. Look at Windows 10 telling me I want to. Time to restart. Later.
Okay. All right. Well, Petey fixes that. Yeah, I'm going to go into
what's going on? What's new?
This week? So, there wasn't really much for me to pick up this week because a lot of the stuff is still not out yet. You're just teaser upon teaser upon teaser. But somebody who did release some new shit that we've been waiting for was Psy. So we heard that Psy was going to release 2 new tracks, which he did. One is called New Face and one is called I Love It. I Love It is so. I'm going to say this, right? Because I'm going to talk about I Love It first. But of these 2 tracks, comparing these 2 tracks to each other, right? I Love It is the shittier of the 2, but they're 2 really good songs from Psy. Yeah. I love both of them so much. But when you listen to both of these, I think they're really good songs. If they were released like one month and then another month apart, like, and not kind of back to back like they were, I would have definitely loved both of them a lot more. But New Face just stands out so much to me. Like, New Face is such a fucking banger. In that Psy style of music. Like, I love it is in his style. It's Psy, it's fun, it's catchy as shit. And it has all those pieces and bits there, but like just the whole arrangement in New Face is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, they're both great tracks. You got to give New Face the added bonus of having dabs throughout. I don't know if you want to give it bonus points or demerits. I don't know, depending on who you are. But know, they were masterfully done.
Oh no, it was so well done.
It was, and the key thing is they were singular. He didn't do I'm gonna do 13 dabs in a row like 10-year-old white kids at a basketball game. Like no, you do it once and that's it. And you have to do it as and you have to do it as a surprise. You're like, oh, and then you kind of like, it gets come out of nowhere. People kind of ruin the dab. It's funny because actually what I've heard around is the exact opposite of what you said. People have liked I Love It a little bit more than they've liked New Face, oddly enough.
People, what the fuck is wrong with you, okay? I'm gonna write a dissertation on Twitter about how good New Face is. Yes. Like, and understand me, ladies and gentlemen. Don't come at me and be like, oh, fucking, what are you hating Psy now? No, I love Psy. I'm talking about his songs compared to his song. Like, I'm just saying, New Face is a fucking jam, okay? It's a fucking club banger. It's gonna fucking burn a club down.
New Face is fantastic. I Love It is fantastic.
And I Love It is so good. I like standalone. I Love It is so good, right? But New Face is amazing, my dude. New Face is amazing, my dude.
Yeah, I think they're both really good. They're both really well made. They're both super fun. Like, they're both super catchy.
I will say there are maybe more gifts to be made from I Love It than there are in New Face that we will see come. They will come. They will happen. They will be out there. Somebody's gonna make the Psy I Love It that. They're just gonna make that their fucking their follower alert on Twitch. It's just Psy doing the I Love It dance. Just having him
And you gotta give I Love It also. They get bonus points for their celebrity cameos, which include Pico Taro, aka the PPAP guy, and Lee Byung Hyun, aka this thirsty motherfucker that got a model and a former member of Glam arrested because of his thirst, and of course because they're. Granted, they're trying to embezzle him for money, trying to extort him for money. Probably had something to do with it. But damn, if he wasn't a thirsty motherfucker. Also, he probably mostly known for being in G.I. Joe. But yeah, the celebrity cameos were pretty fantastic. But I did enjoy.
That's kind of what Psy's videos are known for at this point.
Yeah. You gotta love the Known is fantastic. Of A-Pink in New Face. She looks great. I did enjoy that when I was trying to Google the lyrics. And I'll say why in a second. When I was putting Psy New Face, one of the first autocompletes was Girl. It's like, yeah, people are noticing her. Like, get your face out there.
It's so funny, because we know who these people are, right? Like, I knew it was a girl from A-Pink, right? I couldn't remember her name until you just said it, but I'm just like, oh, she's in A-Pink. And I'm like looking at I Love It. Oh, I know who that is. Oh, that's Apple Pen. That's I know who that person is. I know who this. But it's just so funny to know that Psy's music has that reach, right? It has this cross reach because everybody's looking for the next Gangnam Style from Psy, right? So they're gonna look at whatever video comes out, and then they're just gonna be like, "Yo, who's that? Yo, who's that? Yo, who's that? Who's that chick? Who's that?" Right. And now a bunch of people are gonna listen to A-Pink.
Yeah. Or just look up pictures of Noun, and it's like, yo, she fine.
Yeah, but you have to. If you look up pictures of her, A Pink's gonna come up, and then you're gonna be like, "What the fuck is A Pink? What the fuck is an A Pink? What is a pink A?" Like,
they might check it out.
You gotta go down. You gotta go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's fantastic to kind of get that for them. Yeah, two great tracks. Psy is just amazing. And there was actually a really cool. I like that somebody actually did a thread on our music and cross-posted it to our Reddit, our K-pop, where he actually pointed out, and I kind of I don't know if exactly the wording, but I kind of agree with them that they said that they kind of put together a good like discussion starter on with the title Psy is underrated because of Gangnam Style, where he points out that because of Gangnam Style and like the monumental like the kind of the what's the word, it being such a big
shooting
thing.
Star, kind of like such a like just monster of a
monolith,
a thing,
such a monolith in his career that people don't realize that, oh yeah, he's at this point a 15-16 year veteran of the industry that is one of the more well-known, respected people. Was one of the more well-known, respected people in Korean music before Gangnam Style, and still is after. And like the fact that he's so versatile and has done so much, and kind of has done so much. Like it's just excuse me. It's a cool little like thread. He does a good job of kind of giving a recap of his career. I'll link it to you, Kaz, in the Discord, because I don't want to mess with the the formatting of the Skype. But it's cool. It's worth checking out. But it sparked a nice little discussion. What do you think? Just based on how I described, what do you think of like that idea that Psy, you could say he's underrated because of
it's so he has, like you said, I like to call it the shooting star effect, right? It's a thing that everyone sees, everyone saw, everyone has a story about, right? Like you see a shooting star of this once in a lifetime event for you, right? Not for Psy, for you, right? Which is Gangnam Style, right? Because even for us, right, coming into that, like we see that, oh, that's Korean music. Oh, it's has this thing, and we can kind like, and I'm talking about like the Korean fans of Korean music. We're like, oh, I've heard of Psy before. Like, yeah, this is a really good track, and it's kind of funny because I get the bit, right? But it had this crossover appeal of kind of talking about something that's universal, but then even in itself, all the bits of it was so over the top and grandiose that it hit a fever pitch, right? And it spread really virally. It took the internet, which that's a normal thing for something to have happen, right? Like there's a lot of Korean music that has taken the internet, like kind of across the board, but this thing did that, and then it kind of seeped into the general population, right? Yeah. And then once things like that happen, and you see fucking them talking about Gangnam Style on Good Morning Fucking America, like you're like, all right, well that hit a fucking thing, but none of those people are ever going to do the research to really listen to more music past that, right? Like not the general population. People on the internet will go, yo, I really like that from that dude. Let me find more from that dude, right? And he'll gain more of a following from that. Because even both of these videos have fucking so many views on them already, right? Like, because of those kind of people. But it's just a very interesting kind of thing to have the general population be like, and that's the only place it's ever going to come from, right? Is the general population are like, oh, what happened to that Psy guy? and until one of these other songs hits that fever pitch where they see it again, because they're not seeking it out. It has to come to them. It is gonna to them seem like, oh, he's a one-hit wonder, right? Yeah. But that's not true at all in any capacity whatsoever, right? Like he's had hits before Gangnam Style. He's had hits after Gangnam Style. Yes, Gangnam Style put him on a worldview, but he was already super fucking popular. Like it just made him globally popular. Like, and global popularity is really, really hard to keep. Like, it's not something that you can do. Like, you don't hold on to global popularity. You don't hold the eyes of the world for very long.
Yeah. It's such a kind of a nice perspective to kind of look at it that way, because that global reach and that global population, and like, I mean, even like somebody with other artists, that you only kind of know them for that one singular thing, and especially the mainstream public. But yeah, it is really cool to kind of. It's really cool to at least take the time to appreciate the fact that Psy has kind of amassed this career outside of that thing already, and it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, no more songs like Hangover. I think in retrospect that wasn't a great track. I think it was alright. It's just it didn't work out. But moving on. I got some things. I've got a lot of links you'll see in the show notes, but it's mostly like 3 things to really talk about 2 topics. I didn't have any of the songs. We're sitting here waiting for. Basically, we're just waiting for Twice. Like Twice is on Monday. I'm like, and then there's more stuff to be anticipated.
I ain't even gonna pretend like we both waiting on it. We all waiting for it. I'm waiting for that Twice stuff.
We're looking at every teaser. It's like, yo, they're gonna be aliens with superpowers, and they're gonna do the Bullwinkle the Moose as part of their point dance. I'm like, here we go. But outside of that, well, there's still some cool stuff. Love Extereo. Again, we're going to talk about Love Extereo again. And you know what? For as long as there is something to talk about Love Extereo, I will continue to talk about Love Extereo. I'm not sorry. Love Extereo came out with a couple things. First, the main thing they came out with was their first of probably at least a couple of LPs as part of the 37 song Patreon they're doing for this year. It's called 37A. Theoretically, there's going to be a B and a C, maybe a C, and so on and so forth. 37A, with I guess at this point either almost or all the songs they've come out with so far, 10 songs in total. And they released it on iTunes, on Spotify for people to kind of listen to, and now I get to say, hey, all the rest of the world that isn't a patron of Love Extereo, go check this out, because they've been releasing really cool songs, and they even brought out a music video for one of them, Dark and Light, which they described as kind of like their attempt at like R&B, which is really cool. It's a really cool song. It's just kind of a sexy song. The video is really cool, and it's so much to like about Love Extereo. It has a cool feel to it, and the video is really cool. Kaz, what did you think of the song?
I thought it was an interesting song. I liked it. I don't know. I don't know. There's nothing bad to say about it, because like I just like Love Extereo. Love Extereo is super chill to me, and it just still, even though it was kind of trying to be different, it still had that super chill appeal that I'm used to from Love Extereo. And I just don't think that's kind of ever really something they can ever get away from. That's just kind of their sound and what they kind of gravitate towards. But that's not a bad thing. It's just it's what their music is. So I don't know. I find it super interesting. I love it. And I know how much you love it and how much you push for it. So it's some good shit.
Yeah, and so they came out with it on iTunes and on Spotify. You can check it out. You can buy it or you stream it. And it has some great tracks on there. It just has some really cool like chill tracks, some cool energetic tracks. It has a nice variety to it. And yeah, it's definitely worth listening to. And hopefully it'll motivate. When people listen to it, they'll go like, "Hey, these are cool tracks. I want to hear them as soon as they come out." So you can go on to their Patreon. Go to patreon.com/loveextereo. I'm gonna shill for them. I guess since I'm just I don't know if it counts as shilling when I'm just outright saying I'm gonna promote them constantly. But they don't pay me at all. I just do it because I love them, and the Patreon is cool, and you get alerts. You can make these songs happen, help make these songs happen. You get alerts for the new songs. You can get your own credits in in the CDs when they come out. There's some really cool rewards at different levels, and you want to be crazy. There's some really crazy ones at the high levels. So. You can even have them come and perform for you live where you live if you're willing to support at $1,000 level. Which if you're willing to do that, then you're even way more awesome than I am. But yeah, go support a really awesome band, please. Another thing I kind of been enjoying. I think I've talked about it in the show before. Undies Slam Dunk this year, I mentioned a couple times. Or Sisters Slam Dunk. The season 2, where they've been focusing on the girl group project. They finally released the tracks, the music videos, and they debuted on the music stages for the 2 songs. One song they've actually been doing on the show, and then another song that they mentioned on the show, but you never actually see them do. Because I guess it's just it's an interesting ballad, but I guess not that interesting to see the recording. But a couple songs is Machi or Right, and La 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 Song. Machi, okay, Right. It's so in a similar vein to last year when they released the Shut Up track. It's a very fun song. It has the music video has a lot of humor to it. With a lot of celebrity cameos. Mainly by celebrity cameos, I mean the cameos of the people that were on the show. The trainers, like the dance instructors. And it's like a comical, almost a slightly more comical version of like Into the New World or Dream Girls by IOI, where it's like all the different girls like with their different struggles and dreams of becoming singers, and it all comes together. Matching Right is a fun song. Is it a great song? No, but it's fun. It's fun. It's a little silly.
The thing for me was there was actually a lot more effort put into it than I thought, because I haven't been watching it, right? So I didn't know the like actual amount of effort that was being put into this, because I figured it was kind of more of a silly fun joke that kind of like gained more popularity than they assumed, which is still what it is, right? But there is definitely a lot more effort put in here and a lot more thought than I originally thought was going to be.
Yeah, I mean they got a lot of people that like with different levels of like dancing and singing skills, and it actually goes through a lot of effort. You know, they got the composer, the guy that last year they got JYP. This year they got the guy who taught JYP everything he knows, which is the white haired guy that you see as the teacher, to kind of be the composer producer. And they got them a vocal instructor and a couple of dance instructors, and they've been kind of pretty meticulous about creating this like style. And and they've been practicing hard, and it's been a fun journey on the show. It's almost kind of it's been such a fun show that it's almost disappointing that like watching the ratings, because like I think the show deserves more attention than it's getting, because I think it's a really well done show, and it's really funny and fun, and yeah, the girls do well here. It's fun, so much fun to see Minzy in this, kind of being goofy and having fun, and it's been fun seeing her on the show kind of be a little bit out of her shell a bit, and be fun on the show. I mean, she's not the primary like comedy maker on the show, but she does get her moments. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a super fun show. I think there's so many fun moments. Like there's so many fun moments like this week. I guess not this week's episode, last week's episode, because it's the episode that came out this week on KBS World. I think my favorite moment is still, let me see. I'm wondering if I was wondering, episode 12 was missing. It's still that they were shooting. This week. They were like took a vacation to Busan, and decided to shoot some stuff on the beach. And there was this moment where they were like, "All right, let's get this. Let's get some people that are wandering by." And they tried to get the attention of like a dude who's like jogging, who's kind of shirtless jogging. And they tried once, and they didn't get his attention. And then there's this great moment where they're like playing with the dog, and he jogs back again. And I can show you the moment. He jogs back again, and like he's like running by them, and Hong Jin Young sees him and just books right after him, and just let me see. They find him, and she just books it. She just books it, and then the best part is she just eats it. It's like just ass in the air, face in the sand, like fantastic. I don't know. It's just an amazing moment. I want to make it into a GIF. It's just a great like shot of her sitting in the sand, like, yeah, I eat shit. There's just a big smile on her face, like, yep, that's what happened. But yeah, it's just been a lot of great fun spontaneity. I want the show to succeed. I want it to get back on track. And at least maybe get to a place where it's at least viable to keep around. Though it might not be the case. Hopefully things work out. Yeah. One last thing. Yeah. One or two. So there's actually a couple releases lately from former members of Evil. And we talked about Juicy before and her feud with Casper and all that stuff. But there's a couple other members. One of them I'm still trying. So the Hayana released something. I'm still trying to find a viable source. I think I can only get it on Melon. I'm trying to find where else it is available. But she released a song. I want to see if I can get a chance to listen to it. But I can't find it. But another member who released music recently. That's I think worth checking out. Was Say. She released it a little while ago. I think like 11 days ago, like over a week ago. On the 2nd, she released a little EP on SoundCloud, called The Zone. Has a couple interesting tracks, a couple of interesting like R&B kind of tracks, kind of R&B hip hop style tracks. That I think are pretty good. I think for something where she's doing it. It's released. It's pretty good. It's something that I'm assuming, even though it's released by Universal Music International, I don't know who she's with. That she's able to kind of like, she's been able to get like this really good, well produced album, EP together. I don't know if she's like with a label or with like a collective or something, but she's out there making music, and it's out there on SoundCloud for people to listen to, and it's gotten a few listens there as well.
It's gotten a few listens, yeah.
Yeah. It's in the tens of thousands, which is impressive for like, it impresses me, I think, just from the fact that she kind of went from a not greatly known group and been away and just kind of toiling away, but still, still getting out there and doing it. Kaz, well, what did you think? Did you get a chance to listen to some of the music?
Well, I listened to the track you posted, and then I listened to one of the other ones run, and it's pretty good, I will say. Like, I was definitely bobbing my head to it, and I really liked it. I like her voice a lot. Like, and like you said, it's super fucking clean for SoundCloud. I mean, not that there are, all right, that just was rude, but not that there are bad things on SoundCloud, but it was super, super clean, and I really enjoyed a lot of it. Like, I love the musical arrangement and everything, and there's some vocal gymnastics, but not in a bad way. Yeah, like, they're done really well.
She went through the system. She was taught what she needed to learn to like showcase. Yeah. So there's some vocal gymnastics, but it's I think it's fitting of the genre that she was hitting. She was going after. So yeah, really cool stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to checking out more from Hayana. I'm looking forward to. I like the idea of these these members of these groups. Still pursuing their love of music, like especially the groups that are for which it didn't work out, especially short-lived groups, like for them to be able to find a way that is a way that is kind of independent and on their own, and still be able to pursue their love of music is really cool. And I just want to highlight any opportunity I can, especially they were in the system, it didn't work out, now they're doing their own thing, and it's cool. Yeah. All right, that's it for what's new in music. We hop over to our headlines, so join us over there, won't you? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our headlines, our topical topics, things that are going on in the world of East Asian pop culture, some cool goings-ons and happenings. Let's get down to it. So, as I don't know if we've discussed it, but there's been a lot of talk about the fact that T-Ara is going through another lineup change. This time, actually. A little bit more of like cutting to the core, other than just adding a member and losing that member. This time, 2 of the original 6 are leaving as their contracts are ending. But if you thought it was going to be clean departure, if you thought that was going to be drama-free, parting of ways, you are sorely mistaken. MBK Entertainment continued trying to blame their T-Ara fail on Soyeon and Boram. This is an article from courtesy of Asian Junkie. Thank you, Asian Junkie. You can find the links in the show notes on the website, or if you're on YouTube, you can find the link to the page below. See the show notes, get the links. MBK Entertainment continuing their years-long quest of trying to fuck over T-Ara for reasons unknown. Tried again to get fans to blame Soyeon and Boram for the failed comeback instead of the company. The failed comeback being that they weren't going to be able to come back as 6 before the contracts of Soyeon and Boram finished. Boram and Soyeon have notified us that they will not be attending concerts in Japan and Hong Kong which, by the way, were scheduled after their contracts ended. Or are about to end. Their concerts scheduled after. I should have kept reading. There are concerts scheduled after their contracts expired, but they were scheduled months before all of this, and it's disrespectful that they're not upkeeping it. They are breaking their promise to their international fans. We've supported Bodam and Soyeon with T-Ara for the past 9 years, and it's upsetting that this is the end of it. This comes after the initial announcement which tried to make it sound like it was their fault for not doing charity work out of contract or something. Now they're trying to blame them for not expecting whatever terms they were offered, assuming they were offered terms. So basically saying, it's disconcerting that even though we're downsizing them, they still refused to show up for shifts after after they get fired. This is ridiculous. It's so dumb. And of course nobody buys it, and everybody's like, fuck you, MBK. We know you're bullshit. Like, what is your initial reaction to just this aspect of it?
I don't know. There's nothing new here. Like, this is just kind of how the smaller. This is just kind of it's very surprising that the only thing that's surprising about this for me is that they haven't been able to spin it. Like, most entertainment places in Korea are pretty good at the spin, even though we still are like, no, you're bullshit. But it's just, there comes a time where you can't spin to stop, right? Like,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's just bad to keep doing.
Yeah. And then they keep trying it because it says MBK, Soyeon, and Bodam cut off communications and stuff. Nobody believes them. MBK Entertainment are continuing to sell on T-Ara, Soyeon, and Bodam, this time saying they are concerned by their actions regarding upcoming concerts. This is a source from T-Ara's agent, MBK Entertainment, said, "We told Soyeon and Bodam what time we would be picking him up in order to go to the airport for the group's concert in Taiwan, and they responded that they would get there on their own." Source continued, "We checked with the airline and the two members apparently canceled their tickets themselves. We are concerned as the two are acting on their own accord, despite the fact that this is all for a concert they have to do with the rest of the group. The other members are worried that the two members might come off as insincere because they haven't really been practicing for the concert. We also haven't been able to film videos meant for the concert because of Soyeon and Bodam. There have also been questions about what would happen if Soyeon and Bodam did not show up for the concert at all, to which they responded, if asked for damage compensation in case that the two members did not show up, we would have to ask the two members to take responsibility for that." They also said they were giving up other members the silent treatment. Soyeon and Bodam are also not responding to contact from their fellow members either, which is causing them to worry a lot. We were relieved if the two members show up to the concert venue, but their actions are irresponsible and careless. We never start to talk money and contracts, things get ugly. And you kind of look at the netizen responses like, no, we don't buy any of that bullshit. And it's just transparent that they're trying to kind of throw them under the bus. By that concert happened. MBK's unsurprisingly full of shit. T-Ara's all show up for the Taipei concert. Day after that, the concert happened. Everyone showed up. Everything happened seamlessly and perfectly. They performed new songs that they didn't perform before. There's no way that they didn't practice them with MBK. They didn't practice with them. They're old VCRs, so MBK lied about T4 becoming new ones with Sobo, at least so far. Fun story, 38 minutes later, there are Soyeon and Bodam in VCRs of their own. There were video, it was very obviously bullshit. like they showed up, they performed flawlessly, including new songs that they hadn't performed before. It's like it's kind of hilarious almost that they thought they would be able to. I mean, they kind of. The thing is, they kind of the fact that they tried to bring that narrative for the sake of like putting people under the bus, which is almost appalling and almost kind of like it's ballsy. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Kaz?
I don't know. It's a lot of bad he said, she said, because it's all he said, right? Because there is no she said, right? Because they're not saying anything. They're pulling as much of their weight as they need to in this point of being in the transition of leaving a job, right? It's like you're like, hey, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. Hey, it's coming up on my last 3 days. Like, look, I did most of what I need to. You really should have you should have brought somebody else in now. I could have helped train them to catch up on the workload that I've been doing here, but you didn't want to. I'm sorry, what? Overtime? No, I already start my new job on Tuesday. I'm just kind of saving face here a little bit. I was trying to be nice to you. Excuse me, you want to dock my pay for what? Like, bitch, I'm leaving. You gave me my last check. What are you talking about? It's just, you know.
It's hilarious. It's almost comical. Like
it is. No, it's very specifically comical.
Yeah, the talking smack in the media about them because they refuse to work past their last day on the job for free or something. Or I doubt it'd be for free, but you know, you have to like. There has to be a contract. Like I don't know. Like unless they're offering them a contract. They're expecting them to show up for free or something. I'd like, what do they expect? Like, like, no. And I know, there really isn't much of a, well, I mean, not to assume that from my, I don't know how much of a, fuck you, pay me mentality there is in Korean society, but I can tell you that, they're not saying fuck you, but they're definitely saying pay me. You know, just like any reasonable person should. Like, say, you know, if you want me to work more, here, put the money on the table, and we'll talk. Yeah. All the best to T-Ara. They do seem to get along really well, and everybody's pretty much assuming that all the other members are just waiting out their contracts so they can just like all leave and then, you know, reform somewhere else. Kind of pull a beast / highlight. So everybody's looking forward to that. Also, there was a Troublemaker cover which with Hyomin and Jiyeon at the concert. Nice. Beautiful stuff. All right, moving on.
All right.
BTS tops 200,000 sold on Oricon, which is actually very good and not meaningless.
According to the article,
Agent Junkie. It's mostly just this, I would say that is not meaningless is mostly kind of a following up to the kerfuffle Agent Junkie's been having over BTS, over the army getting on him because he had the audacity to say that an award show is meaningless. How dare he call the Billboard Music Awards the most prestigious award of whatever. BTS has sold over 200,000 of the Japanese version of Blood, Sweat, and Tears single and have topped the Oricon charts for 4 straight days. This is a significant achievement by anybody in the Japanese music market, much less a Korean artist in this stage of the Hallyu wave. To give you an significance, selling over 200,000 copies of the single would have already put them in the top 30 for the year of last year's single sales on Oricon. And they sold 17,383 today, so the number is continuing to rise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my thing, right? Like
this is cool.
I don't in a very singular kind of like it's still So this is an accomplishment, right? Let's not even focus on the numbers. Let's focus on the fact that over the past while, right, Korean pop music hasn't done that great outside of a few acts, and usually legacy acts in Japan, right?
It's like Boa, it still has a career. TVXQ is doing well. 2 p.m.
Yeah,
like Senior Shide could still sell at Tokyo Dome, but those are the acts that were already popular.
Right,
Like maybe twice because they have 3 Japanese members. But yeah,
maybe
for the most part.
But that's even a stretch. I think just in the K-pop eye of the cross promotion, right? There's 2 markets that you constantly strive for, right? It's America and Japan, right? Everything else is kind of you get it if you can, right? Like, because a lot of acts kind of
I would say Japan and China and America would be the get it if you can, but
well, no. I think a lot of people still strive for that kind of big cross into the American market, but yes, like in the planned out markets, like you kind of plan, okay, let's see if we can hit China, right? All right, we're doing pretty good in China. Let's see if we can hit Japan. All right, holy shit, we have a little bit of traction here. Do you think we can carry this into the American European market? And you kind of go from there, right? Where it sometimes is really weird when you hit certain crosses, but I feel like BTS has just been hitting everything that they go for, right? Like, I feel like they have literally just hit every mile marker they've reached for.
Yeah.
And it is astounding to me how much so. Like they've grown on us a lot, right?
Yeah.
As 2 people who are already in the kayfabe of Korean music, right? We're already sold on what Korean music is. And especially what K-pop is, right? Like, so much so that it has grown our love for things that are not K-pop but are still Korean music.
Yeah.
And initially, like, we kind of poo-pooed them, but we poo-poo a lot of people with kind of bad starts, right? And let's say, like, it was a silly start, but since then, like, they've made a lot of changes and a lot of iterations. Maybe not to their lineup, but to their sound, to their look, to their style, to their media presence, to their communication, to all these things, right? And it's evolved so fluently, right?
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes you see
the IMX,
right? And Jesus Christ,
that was almost insulting. I'm sorry, BTS. I was almost insulting.
But it's been such a fluid transition. Whereas, like, we've seen other groups transition, and it's just been like clunky, like putting square wheels on a car, kind of clunky, right? Like you're just like, man, that's what you went for there. Like, you went from that to that, like, kind of style thing, or just to whatever. But I don't know. BTS is just like this weird monster.
Yeah. And they have a rap monster. Yeah, I think it's just undeniable at this point that they are the it group, especially for like international reach. And it's really cool. Like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, at the beginning we had very, very good reason to not really be into them because it was very kitschy. They were very kind of like the boy school uniform like thing, and like the kind of the silly gimmicky lyrics and things like that. But once they kind of just matured and kind of like refined their sound and kind of found a good middle ground and had found a different approach. I think it worked out for the better. Definitely an impressive group. I think there's just such good quality coming from them. again, stop it. No, don't start in the middle of my fucking podcast. It's like Windows is bothering me. Okay. But yeah, I think that they just found a really good sound, and I think it's worked out really well for them. Yeah.
All right, let's hit this last weird ass story before your computer tries to eat you.
Yes. Yeah. Good luck to BTS fighting. Keep it up. But yeah, speaking of Japan and idols, Japanese idol singers put on hazmat suits before hugging fans at Tokyo event. The 6 young ladies of this Nagoya-based idol unit. By the way, this is a courtesy of Rocket News, the English edition of Rocket News, or Sora News, I guess here. Japanese idol singers put on the 6 young ladies of this Nagoya-based idol unit skipped the frilly skirts when it was time to embrace their fan base. With the Golden Week holiday period over, Japan headed back to work and school on Monday morning. Fans of idol singers, though, were no doubt still basking in the warm afterglow of Budokan Idol Expo, which took place last Saturday in Tokyo. Held at the Budokan, one of Japan's most prestigious venues for sports and music events. Bands play there when they go on world tours. Wrestling events are held there and are big time events. So it's a big venue. The event saw more than 1,000 idol singers gather to greet their adoring public. And among those who made an appearance were Nagoya-based 6-member idol unit Cyber, or with an 8 for a B. Cyber. The group had something extra special planned for Idol Expo, deciding to go beyond the handshake events that had become commonplace in the industry and instead have a hug event in which they embrace their fans. But while idol groups usually wear frilly feminine stage costumes, Cyber was dressed quite differently for the hug event.
So they had on these really weird kind of hazmat suits,
with that, gloves and air filtration masks and whatnot. Yeah.
It was super interesting. I don't know anything about this group, so it definitely was something that was very odd to me. But it might be within the group's realm of whatever their style is. Maybe, kind of, sort of. I don't actually know. But it definitely is something that's odd. But I mean, with a group called Cyber,
it's worth keeping in mind that visual organization is critical to success in the industry. Cyber's office was probably at least as much about standing out from the other idol groups at the event as they were legitimate hygienic concerns. Nevertheless, they kept the hazmat suits in the entire time they were hugging fans who could receive a hug from each member for 100 yen, so about $1. Or upgrade to hugs and a signed Polaroid for 2,000 yen. So for about $20, you get a signed Polaroid. There's a nice video of the event. It's kind of surreptitiously taken. Participants had to follow a number of rules. Only the idols were allowed to do any touching, as fans were instructed to stand with their backs to a singer and wait for the hug. Turning around or touching the idols was strictly prohibited. And once the hug was complete, participants were instructed to shuffle to the next idol for another hug, and continue to the process until they were embraced by each singer in turn. So it was no touch rule, kind of like that they do at the high end strip clubs, with the lap dance. No touching.
She'll touch you. You don't touch her.
Exactly. For their part,
I don't know. It's just fucking weird.
They were having fun, and there's some great shots of them just horsing around and having fun and taking pictures. A lot of it's weird, but it seemed like it was as much about kind of getting attention, standing out, and having a lot of fun. Which I think overall that's just cool. It just seemed like really fun. I don't know. What thoughts do you have, Kaz?
I don't know. I'm just it's weird, but like I said, I have no preconceived understanding of this group, so outside of maybe I don't think it was meant maliciously, so I just think it was meant to kind of be fun and silly and kind of catch the attention of people. So and that's what they did. We're talking about it here. Fucking Rocket Jump wrote an article about it, so there you go. They caught attention.
So it's cool, and I don't think anybody is judging them other than to say, yeah, that was fun. And a little bit of information. They are on this. This is courtesy of J-pop, the J-pop Wikia, Japanese music wiki on wikia.com. Cyber, formerly known as BPM 15Q, is a quote new age vocal and DJ unit. Their former name refers to both of the numbers, with 15 referencing Ichigo Rinahamu. Okay, Ichigo 515, and Q referencing Nikamok. Rinamahu serves as a producer. Nikamok left in late 2016, and 2 members joined in 2017. The group also changed their name to Cyber. And the members they have their own colors, of course. Yeah, kind of. They're color coded for your convenience. The membership it consists of Ichigo Rinahamu, Koinumura Pochi, Suzukawa Mashiro, Nathan Koromushi, Yamayume Yamii, and Fujishiro Anna. So yeah, and they've been at it for a couple years now. But they just started. They're a young group, so it's very understanding. They're definitely a young group, and they haven't been at it for very long. So you definitely understand the need to do something to catch attention, especially in these there's a bunch of these idol expos. So really cool. Good on them.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna check out their stuff just to give them a shot. Yeah. I think that brings us to the end of another fantastic episode of Hallyujuku. Kaz, what do you got going on? What's going on in your world?
Check out all the podcasts, Sports Odds and Ends, DKG Whelp. We should have a pretty good episode of DKG Whelp coming up this Sunday or whatever, last Sunday, whenever you listen to this. Go check out the most current episode of DKG Whelp.
Maybe
so. Episode 69. Is the episode you want to look out for. I'm going to try to make it special, make it fun, make it happen. And that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it.
69. Yeah, go check that out. He's King Kaz. I'm Peter Rave. You can check out my stuff, but it's mostly the couple podcasts I do. I'll see what I do about doing more things, but for now, it's just a couple podcasts over here. You can follow the things. The show is Hallyujuku. The show is Hallyujuku. It's hallyujuku.com, kpoppodcast.com, rebelly.net for this and other shows, Rebelly TV on YouTube and other places. Just subscribe, like, share, do all the things. Give us reviews and stuff. Until next time, hasta los huevos. Annyeong.
Give it to me straight, Doctor.
Fighting.